Breaking news, authorities responding to a report of a single gunshot on the campus of the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center just outside Washington, D.C. Right now, that campus is under a lockdown. The main gate is locked shut and employees there have been asked to shelter in place as police sweep the campus. Hello, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Herr in New York, and let's get right to ABC's Louis Martinez at the Pentagon following this story for us. Louis, let's get right to it. What do we know at this point?
Elizabeth, we don't know that much. About an hour and a half ago, there came an initial report of a gunshot, or the sound of a supposed gunshot, that was heard somewhere on the grounds at this huge sprawling facility, the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. Specifically, the report of a gunshot fired from inside the building, the tall tower building, the historic building associated with this facility. And what we have moments later after that initial report, Montgomery County Police was on the scene. They are the local jurisdiction with that. They also had National Institute of Health Police, and that has been supplemented by additional federal law enforcement, including ATF and the FBI. There is a relief in place, essentially a lockdown of the facility, while all of this law enforcement conducts sweeps of the area to determine whether this was in fact a gunshot or whether this was a misreporting. But obviously no one taking any chances. It's a bit of a deja vu event for those of us who were covering last Thursday's event at the Washington Navy Yard, and again going into the heightened tensions because of the July 4th holiday. Sprawling campus, a lot of federal and local law enforcement response to this. We've seen some video recently of employees from within that tower complex emerging with their hands up, which is typical reaction from law enforcement. They want to make sure that anyone who was in the facility is not going to do harm to them, and is also just that, innocent civilians. So that's all we know for now. The details coming in sporadically about what the situation is there on the ground.
And Louis, just help us understand what we are dealing with, or at least the authorities, responding officers there are dealing with, the history of this medical campus. You just said it was a sprawling campus. What can you tell us about that?
Well, this is the military's premier medical facility. This is known as Walter Reed, but historically most of us have known it as the Bethesda Naval Medical Center. A couple of years ago, the military integrated its facilities, and so they carried over the historic name from that other facility that had been treating America's wounded in Iraq from Iraq and Afghanistan. And Bethesda, they merged those two facilities into one. That's why we've ended up with this new name now, the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. Historic in the sense that it's the place where American presidents go for their annual health checkups. It's also historic because it's been in place for almost 80 years. So this is a huge campus. A lot of activity goes there. It belongs to the Navy. They're the ones that have operations of the facility, since historically it was the Bethesda Naval Medical Center. Again, we've also seen this facility over the years as political VIPs go to visit America's wounded from Iraq and Afghanistan. Many of those pictures taken from inside this facility. It's also a research facility, and it's next to the National Institutes of Health, which is one of the reasons why their police department is providing support to this action right now.